A pleasant afternoon to everyone. So, how are you today? I hope everybody is doing good and great and awesome. And I guess you are all excited to learn new things this afternoon. So, I hope you will enjoy our topic this afternoon. So, welcome to physics class. So, I guess you are now ready for our new topic this afternoon. We will be moving to our next lesson, which is related to electrical resistance. So, to start with, we have to be guided with the learning objectives for this session. So, in this chapter, you are expected to state that resistance is equal to PD, or potential difference, or current, and understand qualitatively how changes in PD or resistance affect the current. And also, you are expected to recall and use the equation R is equal to V over I and describe an experiment to determine resistance using a voltmeter and an ammeter. And also, you are expected to relate without calculation the resistance of a wire to its length and to its diameter. So lastly, you are all expected to distinguish between the direction of flow of electrons and conventional current, which I guess I already discussed this one last time, the flow or the direction of electrons and conventional current. So now, to start, let's have a review first about what we had just learned last week. So last week, we talked about electricity, and we defined electricity as a flow of electrons around the circuit. So we need a complete circuit in order to produce an electric current or to produce electricity. In a complete circuit, we have the battery, we have the electric wire, and also we have a lamp so that the electrons can flow through the circuit. And that is how we describe the electric circuit or a complete electric circuit. Next, we also defined last week about electric current. And we define an electric current at which charges, or it is the rate at which charges pass through a wire at a given point. So to produce a current, electrons need to move continuously from one place to another, as you can see in the illustration. So can you see the electrons flowing or moving continuously from one place to another? And also there is if the electrons class will move freely, there is something like electrons conductivity or conductivity of electrons, as I mentioned last week. And also another thing, that the unit for the rate of current is called ampere or amp. Okay, so I hope you can still remember about these topics rather, because we just mentioned this one last week. And another thing also that we talked about last week is about the direction of the current. And we have two directions of the current that we mentioned last week. The first direction is the direction of electric current. So as you can see, even there in the illustration, we describe glass, the direction of electric current. It will start from the positive going to the negative terminal of the battery. And that is how we describe the direction of electric current. Another thing also that we mentioned last time is the direction of the electrons. We describe the direction of electrons from the negative going to the positive terminal of the battery. Again, there is a direction of the current, or the direction or flow of the current was affected from the forces, or it is affected or due to the influence of a force, which is called the force of attraction. That's why electrons move from the negative to positive terminal of the battery, and the direction of electric current is from the positive to the negative terminal of the battery. It is because of the force, which is called the force of attraction. So I'll just emphasize that one in our review. Another thing also, of course, we can relate it with the flow of electrons and flow of conventional current. Again, when we say flow of conventional current, this flows from positive to negative terminal of the battery, as I mentioned last time. And again, electron flow starts from the negative to positive. So I hope you can still remember about that. And also, we just ended up with solving the electric current. So as you can see in the picture or in the illustration there, not the illustration, the screen rather. So to solve for your electric current, it is equal to the charge over time. So it can be also denoted in this formula. I is equal to Q over T, where I refers to your electric current, which is measured by ampere or amp, and Q, which signifies to your electric charge, which is measured in coulomb, and also for your time, which is also measured in second. So this is the formula that we can use to solve for electric current. So I hope you'll be able to remember about this one. So we're done with our review. Let's now proceed. I guess you are now all ready to go with our next topic. So our next topic will be, as what I said, electrical resistance. So let's try to describe first the picture. So let's start our discussion with this picture. What have you observed with the picture? How will you describe the picture? I want everybody to think about it. What is the picture all about? So if anybody of you have observed three persons in the illustrations, then you're right. And then the three persons, they represent as volt, as amp, and as ohm. So meaning to say, the picture shows, or the three persons show, or they represent the electrical quantities. So we have the volt, we have the amp, and we have the ohm. So what have you observed? What are they doing? As you can notice also, the volt is trying to push. The volt is trying to push. The volt is trying to push the amp. So the volt is trying to push the amp. And what happened to the ohm? The ohm is trying to control. It's trying to stop the push of volt to the amp. So that is something to do or related with electrical resistance. So I want you to just take down note. What have you observed about the ohm is doing? So next, another thing also which is related to the previous picture that I've shown. This shows, of course, there is a voltage. The voltage is trying to push the electrons to move in the circuit. And what happened to the hand? There is a hand that will stop or resist or even to limit the movement or the flow of the electrons. So something to do again or related with electrical resistance. So I want you to just take down note of what have you just observed with the pictures. And also, lastly, this picture shows a lamp. And in a lamp, there is also an electrical resistance to control the flow of electric current in a lamp. And that is what the picture means or meant to be. So now let's proceed to electrical resistance. What is electrical resistance? Based on the pictures that you have just observed a while ago or described, how can you now describe an electrical resistance? How do you define it? So in a very simple way of describing an electrical resistance, we can say that electrical resistance will help us limit, I will highlight the word limit, the flow of your current. So that is how we describe an electrical resistance in a simple way. It will help us limit the current flow. Another thing also to describe an electrical resistance class, as you can see there, you cannot see it there. So another thing to describe an electrical resistance, it is the ability of a material to slow or stop the flow of electric current. And another thing also, it is the measure of how easily charges flow through a circuit. But I guess it's very easy to remember when we describe an electrical resistance as the one that will limit the flow of the current, or it will control the flow of the current. So I want you to remember that one. So now, more of electrical resistance. I want you to think about this one. If you use a short length of wire to connect the positive and negative terminals of a cell or a battery together, don't you know that you can do a lot of damage? Again, I'll repeat. If you use a short length, I highlight the word short length there. So short length of wire to connect the positive and negative terminals of a cell together, then you can do a lot of damage. Why? Why? What is the reason? So the wire and the cell may both get hot. So again, if you do that one, if you use a short length of wire to connect the positive and negative terminals of a cell together, it can cause a lot of damage because the wire and the cell may both get hot. So I will highlight this one. Both of the wire and cell may get hot. So as a large current will flow through them. So that's the reason why it will cause a lot of damage if you use a short length when the current flow is large. So meaning to say, there is a very little electrical resistance for that, for a large current, correct? So there is a very little electrical resistance, usually simply called resistance in the circuit. So the current is large rather. So another thing also in here, power supplies are protected by trip switches, which cause them to cut out if too large a current flows. So again, power supplies are protected by trip switches. I highlighted the word trip switches, which cause them to cut out if too large a current flows. And this one very important. I want you to really take down note of this, and I want to highlight this one. So the greater the resistance, the smaller the current that will flow. Again, the greater the resistance, the smaller the current that will flow. I want you to remember that one. I will highlight that. So do not forget that. And another thing also, a potential difference or PD, again, when we say PD, that means potential difference. So this one, PD means potential difference. What is potential difference or PD? It is another term for voltage. So if you encounter a word potential difference or PD, it is another way of saying voltage or another term for voltage. And it is measured in volt. So a potential difference is a voltage or another term for voltage, and it is measured in volts or V using a voltmeter. So a voltmeter is also like an ammeter. It can be either analog or digital voltmeter. So it indicates, or the voltmeter will indicate that there is a difference in electrical potential across the resistor. So again, the voltmeter will indicate that there is a difference in electrical potential across the resistor. So these are the things or the basic things in electrical resistance that we should remember. So now let's proceed. Okay, now there is a special name for PD. So PD or potential difference, aside from, we can call it as, or it is another term of voltage, there is also another special name for the PD across the cell. And you call that as EMF of the cell. Again, PD has a special name, which is EMF of the cell. What does it mean? So EMF means, or it stands for electromotive force. So PD is also called EMF or electromotive force. Of course, it is also measured in volts. But this can be misleading since EMF is a voltage and it is not a force. Because of its name, electromotive force, it doesn't mean that it is a force. It means, or it is a voltage. EMF or electromotive force is a voltage and it is not a force. Again, electromotive is a special name for PD or potential difference, which is also known as a voltage. So please do not be confused about the terminologies. So any component that pushes a current around a circuit is said to have an EMF. So again, any component that pushes a current around a circuit is said to have an EMF. So EMF consists of cells, or it refers to cells, batteries, power supply, dynamos, and so on. So when we say EMF again, that refers to cells, batteries, power supplies, dynamos, and so on. So I hope you will be able to recognize the terminologies because there are a lot of terms in here that I want you to be familiar with. So another thing also, again, let's go to electrical resistor. So when we say electrical resistor class, let's start with the word resistor. When we say resistor, it is used to control the amount of current flowing in a circuit. So I will highlight the word control and then amount of current. So it will control the amount of current that will flow in your circuit. That is the meaning of resistor. From the word itself, resist. There is something that will resist to the current flow, and that is the resistor. It will control the amount of current flowing in your circuit. So electrical components called resistors can be used to control the current. So if you want to control the current, then you need a resistor. And of course, there are two main types of resistors, as you can see, a wire wound coil of fine wire resistors. And the other one is a composition or carbon resistors. So you can just look at it on the illustration. It shows there the illustration about the resistors, the two types of resistors. And of course, this one is a symbol used to describe a resistor. And then we can now describe electrical resistance as this. Electrical resistance is the ratio of 1 volt and 1 ampere. So we can say electrical resistance is equal to volt over ampere. So, or we can say that electrical resistance is measured, or its a basic unit of measurement, or SI unit for electrical resistance is ohm. So ohm is the basic unit or the SI unit of measurement for electrical resistance or electric resistance. It's the ohm, symbolizes with this symbol. So I want you to remember the symbol of ohm. So that is all about electrical resistor. So another thing also, very important concept, factors that will affect your resistance. I want you to think, I want you to remember about this one because this is very important. What are the factors affecting resistance? First, the length of the material. So the length of the material class will affect the resistance. So longer materials have greater resistance. That's why a while ago, in the example, I told you there is a damage if you have you have longer materials. As what I said, longer current, or yeah, long current or big current rather, requires big resistance so that it can control, or it will control the flow of the current, and it will not, it cannot cause damage. So this is the length of the material will affect the resistance. If you have a longer materials, then you should have greater resistance. So longer materials have greater resistance. So as you can see in the illustration, we have 1L for the length. 1L, one length is just have 1 ohm. And then 2L has 2 ohm. So that means that the longer the materials have, greater resistance. So the length of the material will affect the resistance. Another thing also is the cross-sectional area, or A, of the material. So aside from the length of the material, the cross-sectional area of the material will affect the resistance. Always remember that larger areas offer less resistance. Again, larger areas offer less resistance. So as you can see, this one, not that large, small, a short rather, short area. So it has 2 ohms. This one, it has a large area compared to this. So it has 1 ohm. So compare their area. So we can say that the larger areas offer less resistance. So meaning to say the cross-sectional area of the material will affect the resistance. Okay? So I hope you can follow. Another thing also that will affect the resistance is the temperature of the material. So the temperature of the material will affect the resistance. The higher temperatures usually result in higher resistance. Again, the higher temperatures usually result in higher resistance. So please do not forget that one. You can relate that, especially when you are charging, when you try to charge and then your charge will the temperature will increase. That means there is something like higher, that is a result of higher resistance. So another thing also is the kind of material. Always remember that iron has more electrical resistance compared to a copper conductor. So iron has more electrical resistance than a geometrically similar copper conductor. So here are the factors that will affect the resistance that I want you to remember. Again, resistance will be affected, or the length of the material, or the factors affecting resistance rather, are the length of the material, the first one. The second is the cross-sectional area of the material. Next is the temperature of the material. And the fourth one is the kind of material. So these 4 factors will affect the resistance. So I hope you will be able to remember this one. So now, I will just do the activity later. I'll just let you do the activity later rather. So now let's now define a resistance. I want you to think about this one. How much current can a cell push through a resistor? How much current can a cell push through a resistor? So how much can a cell push through a resistor? So this depends on the resistance of the resistor. So that's the first thing. It depends on the resistance of the resistor. Next, the very important concept, the greater its resistance, the smaller the current that will flow through it. So the greater its resistance, the smaller the current that will flow through it. Another is the resistance of a component is measured in ohms. So I want you to remember these concepts. So to solve for your resistance, so resistance is measured in ohms. So it is equal to the potential difference or the voltage or volts rather over the current or ampere, measured in ampere rather. Or you can just have it in this way. R is equal to V over I, where I refers to your resistance, which is measured in ohm, and V is the potential difference, which is measured in volts, and also I, which represents or which means current, which is also measured, which is measured rather in ampere or in amp. So this is the formula used to that we can use in solving resistance. So the reading on a voltmeter is in volts or V. We all know that one. And then smaller voltages may be measured also in millivolts or MV or microvolts, mu V. So take care not to confuse with the italic symbol of V used as the symbol for an unknown potential difference or voltage with upright, which is V, capital V, used as the symbol for the units or volts. So I guess we will just stop here because I will give time for you to do your activity. So do not forget how we define an electrical resistance and about the terminologies related to it. So I'll give you the time now to finish or do your task. I hope you will be able to finish that one in before the time. So I'll ask the subject representative to please collect it and then send it to my QQ Messenger. So if you have some questions, you can just ask me. Okay? So do not be hesitant to ask questions. We will just continue with the other topic tomorrow, next meeting rather. So that's it. You can use my time now to the remaining time to answer your activity.